Good morning from the apartment we are currently staying at in Malta. For those of you who watch the channel often, you know I work as a travel video producer doing different jobs for clients as well as helping run adventure photography workshops. In this video, I want to touch on a piece of kit that is lesser known but very important. This is the Magic Box. Let's go. Jumping right into the video, what is the Magic Box? This is essentially a hard case box, hard plastic, very similar to a Pelican case, and it is branded on the front Zhiyun Tech because this is the box that the crane gimbal came in, which was a very pleasant surprise to me because without the gimbal in it, it is extremely useful. So when the gimbal first came, it was tightly packed in this space. I took it all out, took out the extra padding, and was left with this really nice open space in the hard plastic case. And what I use it for now is all of this miscellaneous stuff around the box. So why this is such an important piece of kit is because the lesser seen aspect of being a travel video producer is all of these things that I take with me in the field on location. We're consistently traveling, we live nomadic, so all of these things have their use, and I want to go over them with you now and show you why I have all this stuff and how it fits all into the Magic Box. So let's begin with this side here and sort of how it gets into the Pelican case here. So what I've got are a system of Lee filters. This is the foundation kit and a couple of rings for the lenses. I'm just gonna put that into the bottom of the box because it's square. This is the little stopper 6-stop ND filter. That goes just on top of the foundation kit. And then this is the 0.6 stop soft grad ND filter, and that also can just go underneath there like that. Now I look for another sort of square object that I can put at the bottom of the box. These are envelopes where I keep my accounting information. So as you know, I run a small business, and part of running that small business is managing my own accounts. So these are all of the receipts that I've got collected for my expenses throughout January and February of this year. Then I got a couple of extra envelopes for when we get into March and April and so on. So I squeeze those sort of underneath the filters, right on the bottom of the box. Now it's like a game of Tetris. So I've got another couple of like hard square rectangle shaped objects here, which I'm going to share with you now. So this is a 4 terabyte Seagate hard drive. This is my backup hard drive. My primary hard drive is a Lacy 2 terabyte, which holds all of sort of the daily content that we're producing as well as the photos. Then this is the backup. So about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, I'll do a big backup and put all of the current information onto this 4 terabyte, and that I keep here in the Pelican case as well. Also, when we're traveling, I always keep the 4 terabyte backup and my 2 terabyte Lacy in separate bags apart from one another. In sort of worst case scenario that I lose one of the bags or get robbed, I still have the majority of my content on one of the 2 hard drives. So what's next? We've got chargers. This is the charger for the Canon 5D3 batteries. This is the charger for the Lumix GH5 batteries. Both pretty square, so they fit really well into the corner of the box on top of each other. With those charging packs come the cables, of course. So I've got 2 cables to charge those batteries. Those go in here as well. Now this one, this rectangular looking guy is the charger for the drone. This is the Mavic 2 Pro charger, and I can use the same cable from the Lumix and Canon chargers to plug this in as well, which is really nice. So saving a bit of space with that. Also, this is another square looking thing. This is a SD card reader CF, mini SD, an XC reader, and an XD card reader. So this I use when I'm working with other people that maybe use different memory cards than I have, and I'm able to transfer their footage or vice versa through this card reader, which is really handy to have. So yeah, that goes into the box. What else do I have? This is a USB-C USB cable. I use this to update the drone for any new firmware updates. and also just good to have if I need a USB-C to USB adapting cable. Got some cleaning equipment here. These are the micro 4/3 cleaning swabs, which I use to clean the sensor on the Panasonic GH5. Also got one of these air compressor things for cleaning the sensor to get a little bit of the dust off. And then a bit of cleaning swab ointment as well. This is what came with those little micro 4/3 cleaning swabs. So that's to clean the sensors if I ever need to do that, if I got some dust spots. This here is a headlamp. There we go. Got this as a present from a friend of mine who works for the Canadian Pacific Railway out in British Columbia. Really powerful headlamp. It's very, very good for sunrise morning hikes. Got an extra pair of earphones. This is a USB-C adapter headphones, which are really good for editing or being on planes, etc. A couple of adapters here. This is a European adapter and a North American adapter, which I sometimes need to use when traveling. This is a shower cap. Nice little hack for travel photography or landscape photography. Shower cap is really good to keep on you if it weather gets rough or it starts raining. You can quickly put that over your camera and your lens to keep them dry in the field. And they're still see-through, which is really nice. What else do we have here? This is a Rode lav mic, so I use this for interviews most of the time. I've also got a little miniature dead cat for this as well, for any of the wind that can be coming through. So that lav mic is really nice to use, especially in interviews or out in the field if the weather gets kind of crazy. Here we've got extra propellers for the Mavic 2 Pro, in the case that I hit a rock or a tree or something and I need to replace the propellers. I've got 3 sets, which luckily hasn't happened yet, but I do foresee that that could happen at some point, which is why I've got the extra props. This is probably the coolest little USB you've ever seen. It is a miniature camera and the lens pops up and I can then transfer files on that or any photos or whatever. And then it just pops right back in. How cool is that? These are 2 things here, are the lens caps for the body of the Panasonic GH5 and the lens. If I want to be traveling and separate the body from the lens, I can put these on there and yeah, keep those sensors clean. Also got the same thing for the Canon. This goes into the body of the Canon and this goes on top of the lens. So I keep those in the box when I'm not traveling. Here we've got a bit of super glue. Super glue is really, really good, and that brings me on to this little bag, which is sort of a miscellaneous bag of miniature things that are all really useful, but I keep them in one small bag within the box just so that they are together as well, because there's a lot of small little things in here. Extra super glue. This is a replacement set of controllers of joysticks for the controller of the Mavic 2 Pro. If you guys have flown the drones before, the Mavic or the Mavic 2 series, you know that the joysticks screw on and they're tiny little pieces, and I'm sure I'm going to lose those in the field at some point. So I've got a backup of those. I've got an Allen key here for my tripod. I've got a lens support for the gimbal in the case that I've got sort of a Sony on there or a lens that's really front heavy. I can put that on the end of the gimbal to support that lens. Got a miniature Allen key for the drone and for the gimbal, just to make small tightening adjustments. This is a cable for a iPhone if I want to fly the drone using an iPhone. Currently I'm using Android, but I also have used iPhone in the past, so I can switch that over on the drone and fly with an iPhone. Got an extra CF card here and an extra mini SD card, both 16 gigs. Oh my gosh, what's in here? We got a couple of the extra little rubber things for earphones. I've got a set of headphones that I use every day for editing and listening to music and videos and stuff. So I got a couple of extra ones of that. And then a tiny little tightening screw for the gimbal, because these things are what connect the gimbal to the base plate. And if I lose that, I definitely need a replacement, and that's what that is. So yeah, a lot of sort of smaller miscellaneous stuff that stays in this little bag here. And then all of that goes into the Magic case. I'll put all that stuff back. I'll do that later. And last but not least, we've got a Ziploc bag here. There's a few things on top. This is the charger for the gimbal batteries. So that can just go right in the corner there. And then this is the cable that I use to charge the gimbal batteries with. I've then got 3 extra USB 3 cables, which I use for my hard drives. So in the case that I need to replace one of those, or one of them's getting too slow, I've got 3 extra ones. Also then got a Ziploc bag for keeping any miscellaneous cables or smaller bags together in one place within the Magic Case. And I've got some extra elastic bands in there too, because elastics are so good to have when traveling. They're what keep all these cables together. The headlamp, everything is sort of nicely packed and tightly packed together with the elastic bands. So once everything's sort of in there, just flip that down and voila, you're good to go. That is all of my miscellaneous things into the Magic Box. That then just slides into one of my 2 carry-on bags and keeps everything nice and organized and tight and in one place, and I know where it all is, and I never have any issues with this at the airport, which is really, really nice. And even if I did, it would be as simple as, like, you know, there it is. So really handy to have a Pelican case or something like this in your kit for traveling. It's even got a little handle here if I want to go walking around like a briefcase style. So yeah, and it's all packed in there nice and tight too, which is great. But yeah, very important piece for me as a travel video producer, and important to share with you what the Magic Box is and why I've got it. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna try and keep this video short, but Nelly and I are leaving Malta this week. We're heading to Hamburg for a video conference, which I think is going to be really cool. It's called Keyframe, and I was invited to speak at the conference. It's happening over 4 days, and I'll be doing 2 presentations. One on introduction to YouTube as a travel videographer, and the other one on turning your video hobby into a business. Both things I've got a lot of experience with in the last couple of years. I know this channel is still relatively small at just over 10,000 subscribers, but I was able to take my small business as a travel video producer for clients and brands and hotels and sort of transfer those skills onto this YouTube channel, doing more sort of lifestyle vlog about being nomadic, about traveling, about creating videos and taking photos and sharing all those experiences here with you on the channel. So that is really cool to be able to present that story and the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way with people who are interested at the Keyframe conference. And then the second talk, which is all about how to turn your hobby into a business, I think would be really interesting for a lot of you watching this video. I know that many of the people here are skilled video creators and travel photographers, and if you really are keen to start making a bit of passive income or money on the side from your skill set, then it's possible. You know, it's a bit of a hustle, but it's definitely possible. It's my full-time job, and I'm going to share my tips and tricks on how to turn that hobby into a business as part of my second presentation at Keyframe. So that's something to look forward to in the next video. And as always, thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you like it. Hope you like the Magic Box. Any comments or questions, leave them down below, and we will see you on the next one.